Welcome to Eagles Kickoff Live. I am Gail Saunders here with Evan Hollywood Hearn, Mr. Prime in the building, and Chris Malley. Welcome to the show, guys. I'm excited, man. I'm feeling rejuvenated. I'm feeling relaxed. I'm feeling renewed. But I need you, Eagle fans, to wake up.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up out of your sleep, wake up out of your sleep.
And we're hoping that our Eagles football team is waking up out of their sleep. You know, coming off the bye, Doug Peterson's 1-3. But I'm gonna start off positive. We're getting pieces back at the right time. We're getting healthy at the right time. We're getting guys like Mr. Lane Johnson back at the right time. Guess who's back? Lane Johnson's back, folks. So you got to be feeling good about that. No, his album is not dropping, but I'm feeling a certain way about Carson Wentz. I'm getting back on the way.
All right.
You know I own wentzwagon.com, so if anyone wants to buy that, you can buy that. No, actually, I'm keeping it, okay? Because I'm still on the Wentz wagon. We believe in what his skill set is. He's had a rough start of the season. We're just hoping he gets back on track to doing what he wants to do on the field and feeling comfortable doing what he likes to do, and that's win football games and have a nice rapport with his head coach. I mean, how are you guys feeling this morning? Evan, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic. That break was exactly what I needed. You're exactly right. Rejuvenated is the right term. I'm feeling a different type of way. I got a new energy about me right now, and I think that, man, it wasn't just, like I said, it wasn't just for us. It was for this team as well. Carson Wentz, he is against the Giants, 7-0 in his last 7 starts, 1,800 yards, 12 touchdowns overall. The Giants are a team that he tends to do well against, and this is the type of team that is a good team to be coming out of the bye and get the ball rolling. I got to ask you guys a question, though. A little thing that happened over my break. Is this a violation? I saw a friend that I hadn't seen in a few years. He's like, yo, come by. I got a ping pong table, play some ping pong, have a couple beers. Okay. I get there around 10:30 at night. I was working late. The ping pong table is laying face down on the garage floor. He's still yet to assemble it. Violation tells me that the ping pong table's ready to play, and then I get over there. I got to help him assemble it for the next 2 hours.
He pulled the switcheroo.
He pulled the switcheroo.
Did you fix it or not?
Yeah, no. We built it up, but we didn't get finished till like 1:00 in the morning.
We got some live footage.
Did you play after we got?
Yeah.
We have live footage of you, Ev, when he asked you the question.
Go ahead. No, that's exactly what was going on. That's exactly what was going on. But like I said, that break was exactly what I needed. I got completely rejuvenated from the inside out. I feel I have a new outlook on this team. I'm with you. My feelings with Wentz were kind of starting to get iffy before this bye week break, but coming back, I have confidence in him again. I think he's going to have a good game, and I think this is going to be the start to a different second half of the season. How you fellas feeling?
How you feeling, my guy? You look refreshed. You look relaxed.
Who you talking about, me or Chris?
You.
Me? I feel good, man. Eagles football is back. Yeah, I definitely feel refreshed. Baseball season ended, so now I can focus on the birds from here on out. Yeah, I agree with Evan. You know what I mean? It's turnaround time. Second half of the season. Carson and the guys got that needed break. We got some key players coming back today. Hopefully they can go ahead and fill in that gap that we've been missing for the past other 8 games. It's going to be interesting to see Alshon on the field, Miles back on the field. See how much they can contribute to the team today. We need this, man. We need this. We need these next couple games because we got some serious games coming up in a few weeks, and we got to go ahead and get all the little mistakes and everything out of the way now, so that way we can be as strong as possible going against Seattle and those other teams going forward.
We got some warm-up games, though. We got some warm-up games.
Definitely.
Chris, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling. What's up?
I heard some news about you had some kind of injury. Is that true?
Man, everything always hurts, man. I'm an old man. That's what college sports does to you.
Stop.
The thumb?
I go too hard. Nah, hamstring. I'm cool though. Yeah. I was hurt. I told Gail last night. It was like 11:30. I'm like, man, I'll be there at 9:30, but like I'm moving a little slow. I woke up and I felt a little better though. So
Wow. Look at Chris though, with the hamstring still activated today
Chris
for the
acts
live
like
show.
he's 50 years old over here.
dude, seriously, dude, I had 5 games yesterday for a charity event. I was up at 6. I didn't get home till like 4, and I was hurting.
Jeez.
But yeah, boys. I mean, like we were saying, I don't think the bye could have come at a better time. We were hurting, and I think that everyone needed a mental rest. The players and the fans included, even though we didn't get it from sports media because obviously Carson Wentz's name, Brett Favre's name, Doug Peterson's name was all over the place because they can't get enough of talking about us because they know that our fans actually care about the team and we're always going to defend them no matter what, or at least talk about them, see what the interest is about. But yeah, I mean, we got Lane coming back. Sam Alu, I'm pretty sure he's back today. We have Miles is going to be back. Alshon's going to be back.
They say your mama back? Didn't they say he was?
He might not be. I need to double check on that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he got cleared.
But yeah, in general, I mean, I just think that mentally and physically that the team really needed the bye and it came at the right time. Yeah, I'm just checking the chat. Yeah, Sam Howell is not back. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I like Herbig. He's been great for us this year. I mean, the main thing is the plays that are there to be made for Carson. He just has to make them. And when he knows that's like an obvious throwaway, or like he should just run and not even hesitate. That's what it's just about. I mean, the thing that's so frustrating is that like we know how talented he is. He makes an extraordinary plays every game, but then he makes plays that are just like glaringly bad, and it really negates what you really love about him. I mean, I think he'll be fine. I think having Miles back is huge. I think having Goddard back is huge. Goddard had a little slow start against the Cowboys, but they're really keying on him because he's eaten against them every single time he's played them. So I think Goddard's going to be in the game plan more. James Bradbury is their best corner. He's probably going to be following Fulgham around, or at least try to be on him more. So I think Jalen Reagor is going to have a really good game. I think that we saw a small glimpse of how versatile Reagor can be. The touchdown they did score, he was lined up and was in the backfield behind the line when he went into motion because no one's going to be able to cover him out of the backfield in motion. Hopefully Doug gets a little more creative. During the bye, I mean, you watch all these other teams and you see them use a little bit more creative play calling. Maybe we weren't doing it because we had some guys injured, but in the past like 3 years, you really haven't seen Doug get too creative, and unless he tries to put Jalen Hurts in there. So it's a little frustrating, but hey, it's a fresh start to the rest of the season. In my opinion, I think this is a must-win game for the fact that you want this team and the fans to take this team seriously. You have a tough schedule coming up. You still have the Saints. You still have the Packers. You have all these other teams. Maybe you steal one from like the Browns, but you should try to win out all these divisional games.
Yeah, it's important we get back on track. I mean, we're in the meat and potatoes of the NFC East. I think last week was the meat, and then we'll call the Giants the potatoes. I think it's important you get 3 dubs in the NFC East. If you turn around and win the last 2 games in the NFCs, pretty much lock up the NFC East, get a couple dubs, building up the momentum, which could be a playoff run if everything works according to schedule. But you know how 2020 has worked. But you know, you'd mentioned Prime about Alshon Jeffrey getting back. Alshon Jeffrey has been a big piece in the past. It's been a long time since we've seen Alshon play. He showed us flashes, of his dominance in that Miami game. So, for the folks that are, upset about what might have been said if someone was talking to Josina, we still don't know. Like, people take that as gospel, but we still don't actually know for it to be 100%. I'm just being I'm just giving facts here.
Captain Saver, bro.
Obviously, I love Alshon's game. I used to call Alshon Alpha Jeffrey because he was the kind of wide receiver we needed to build confidence. Some of the guys around him. You talk about Nelson Aguilar, what he did for his game that season. So he brought an element to the wide receiver position that we've been looking for in a long time. And you know what else has brought an element to the wide receiver position we've been looking for over the last year or so?
Travis
Fulgham, not Fulgrim, Evan. Evan likes to say Fulgrim.
What?
But out of these
Get outta
guys
here.
here, I mean, look at this. I mean, like we've been talking. You know, obviously Djax is missing from this group. You know, out of these guys, who are you most excited to see ball out today?
Well, there's two parts to that, because with Alshon coming back, I'm sure that you guys were able to get a glimpse of him. He's looking a little bit different than the last time that we saw him. My man looks like he shed a few pounds. He looks like he's in some really good shape. So while I am very interested to see the difference in Alshon Jeffrey and what we had seen in some recent years, like I'm really excited to see, you know, how he's going to get involved. But I just really want to see the continuation of this Travis Fulgham story. My man's averaging 87 yards a game right now. He's on pace to have, I think, about 1,100 yards on the season. That would be the first Eagles wide receiver to eclipse 1,000 yards. I mean, and to think that we got it all since Jeremy Maclin, I'm sorry. And that would be like the fact that we found this guy like a diamond in the rough, man. This wasn't a draft pick that we had. This wasn't a free agent that we signed. The fact that he's our number one wide receiver, and I'm feeling really confident about him. I'm feeling really good about his continuation with the Eagles and what he's going to bring in the future. So I'm excited to see more Fulgham, man. The Fulgham is the story this year.
I mean, going around the room, are we wide receiver wanting Fulgham right now, or wide receiver?
I'm on board.
I mean, I'm wide receiver. You know, just in general, like I don't know. I mean, I would like to see all of them contribute. I mean, Alshon coming back. I mean, look, hey, in the beginning of the season, I came down hard on the guy. You know what I mean? Because I just felt like he diminished with his attitude. Just seems like he didn't want to be a part of the team anymore. And then, you know, look, you're back today. Prove me wrong. All right. I mean, I've been proven wrong this whole season so far. Be another person to go ahead and prove me wrong. I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? Jalen Reagor coming back after the first game. I mean, dude, I would love to see this kid really spark it up. John Hightower, you know, that was somebody I was key in the beginning of the season as well. I've seen so many attempts to this kid. I mean, he's been targeted, I mean, like 21 times. Yes, 9 out of 21, but his biggest receiving catch was 59 yards. I mean, it seems like Wentz sees something in this kid. And, hey, look, I mean, miracles don't happen overnight. I mean, he obviously he's got some confidence in this kid. Kid just needs to step it up and, you know, I mean, really make some of these catches. And then, of course, you know, Fulgham is the guy, man. I mean, he's the person that's pretty much sparked up the whole season. He's been our savior. You know, Greg Ward, I'm not going to forget about him neither. You know what I mean? He was a key contributor last year. He's been a contributor this year as well. But, you know, there's so much potential on that field, man. So, I mean, these defensive backs put a lot of attention on one or a couple specific. That's opening up the game for somebody. So, you know, I mean, it's just who is that person? And no matter what, whoever it is, just really needs to step it up.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to shout out everybody in the chat. Obviously, you know, Eagles Kickoff Live is all about. It's a live stream. It's a virtual tailgate. It's a show, but it's also interactive. But we want to shout out our Eagle fans in the chat. Shout out to Paul. He said the break was perfect. Now I feel refreshed, relaxed about this half of the season. He's feeling refreshed from London town. Shout out to Jeremy. It has been it seems like it has been forever, right? But I did need the break. Shout out to Elena, always active on game day. Jeffrey. He said he felt a certain way about he was getting a Bengals feeling about today.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know, Jeff. I don't know about that yet. I woke up feeling kind of good myself. I
Yeah.
had the vibes. Shout out to Jamie in the chat.
Shout out to all the Veterans Day just passed as well. All the
Yes.
veterans out there, want to give a quick shout out to them as well. Thank you for your service.
Shout out to Jason. He says, "Good morning, fellow Bird Gang. Time to keep this 8-game winning streak going against this team. Time to turn up the second half of the season." I can back that. Let's see, Mr. Ralph for Lauren.
Florian.
Strange feeling we could drop this one and go on an unreal run to finish out the season. Maybe four more wins on the season. Now, he makes a point there. Like if they do drop this one, it gets weird.
It does.
Weird. 3-7, the Giants would be. And the Eagles, you just don't want to be in that situation. This is the kind of game like who wants it more?
Right.
Like, who wants it more?
It's not a must win per se, but it's definitely going to make the entire situation that much more hairy. Like why? Well, we own the Giants. We tend to beat down the Giants anytime we play them, and especially underneath of Carson Wentz, we've been doing really well whenever we play the Giants. So if we were to cough this one up, it would be honestly, it would completely catch me off guard.
Can't sleep on these guys today. I mean, look, these past 2 games, these Giants, I hate to say it, man, they've been showing some spark.
Yeah.
They played their asses off against the Cowboys, lost at the last minute. Then, it was a pretty intense game last week, and they pulled it off, at the last minute as well with that one. But yeah, you can't sleep on it. Daniel Jones. These guys our DBs need to step up and pretty much shut everybody down.
Yeah.
Take away that run game as well. And our defense just especially our front line gets in there and puts a hurt on this boy. This game it's a wrap, man. You might as well call it a 9-game winning streak. Yeah,
we need to stack these dubs early too, because as we get into that stretch of 4 games after the Browns, it's going to be a rough one, man. It's going to be a tough stretch of games. So we need to get as many wins as we can in the games where it's really plausible.
Going against 3 of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah. Now, Michael King in the chat, he says, can you guys give a live shout out to the RV 100-pound Patriots? They win the WJYFL championship last night. Shout out to you.
Congratulations.
Hey, you just pretty much shouted them out yourself.
I wish the name wasn't Patriots.
Yeah.
But we'll shout you guys out, Michael.
RV 100-pound Patriots. There we go.
I think Sanders being back is probably the biggest thing for the offense, because you actually have to honor the play action now, because if Sanders starts eating early and then Carson gets the play fake off, you're going to have guys like Reagor and Hightower holding the safety for just that little bit of a hesitation, and then they're going to be getting open.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So it's different vibes today, man. It's different vibes. You guys sweating? Seriously? We say that we can't be. I'm not walking into this saying this is no problem whatsoever, right? Are you guys sweating? You're not sweating. Right?
It'll be competitive.
It's a division game,
Exactly.
Division games are always tight, regardless on who sucks, who's good. It's always a tight game when it comes to divisions. And
very true.
But no, I'm honestly feeling, very confident today. Woke up feeling great. Really looking forward to getting this game started, and I'm really excited to see some of the guys that are coming back today, what they can go ahead and contribute and how they're going to look. Again, taking these next couple of weeks, these practice games. That's what I'm gonna call them, practice games, and really get strong for those 3 upcoming games that are really going to go ahead and make it break this season.
Now, you guys mentioned Miles Sanders. I feel like Miles Sanders is a perfect. He's a perfect blend of a pass catching, dynamic, quick twitch, take it to the house type of. He's a 3-down back. He's not every NFL team has the guy with his skills. There's some half the league might have guys with his skills, but he's a very well-rounded running back. And obviously coming out of Penn State, he's got a lot of fans in Pennsylvania, but obviously we're big fans of his game. And I think, it's important to get him fired up. He's a big part of the offense. Talking about a guy who has, 274-yard runs on the season. And you just need to give him a little daylight, and he'll take it the rest of the way. He'll make a couple of guys miss in space. He just needs a crease, and that's the thing that you love about Boobie Miles. We all love the boobies. Shout out. I mean, it feels good to have. I mean, obviously, we got to give a shout out to Lil Man Boston Scott, who did come up big, no pun intended, against the Giants. I mean, a beautiful catch down the sidelines. When the game was on the line and we needed him the most, Mans came up.
A little bit tougher. Wentz throws, pass is caught. Touchdown, Boston Scott.
Big time. Big time.
I mean,
those boys were feeling the heat that day.
They were.
Yeah. I think the first part of the season, Eagle fans were looking a little bit more from Boston Scott. I don't know if he was a little rusty, but I think he's knocked some of that rust off. I feel like sometimes when players, especially guys that are coming off the bench, they have to be relied on. It's a different kind of energy, and I feel like now we have this guy to.
Is this you? Can you hear me? Yeah, there you go. I found the camera.
See, we got cameras everywhere. Miles Sanders talking to the fourth and John crew right now. But how are you guys feeling about our run game against this Giants defense?
Well, before we get started with that, I mean, we have a little bit of an invasion going on in the chat right now.
Oh boy,
the Giants fans have entered the chat.
Shout out Joey Martin in the building.
Okay.
I mean, this is what we like. This is the banter we like, Joey. I mean, Joey, if you want to come on the show,
yeah, by all means, Joey.
We'll bring you on. You could talk your piece. I mean, obviously, the Giants have showed something, but they've also shown that they haven't been able to win the close ones. Obviously they got a dub recently. I mean, one guy that I'm gonna keep it real, Evan Ingram, man.
Yeah. He's a real one for sure, man.
I mean, if he catches that ball, I mean, he's had his ups and downs, but if he catches that ball, what does it look like for us?
Yeah. We're definitely having a different conversation right now. But getting back to our run game, I mean, Miles Sanders is really, he's been great all year. I feel like he's just been underutilized. You know who's really missing Miles Sanders is PSU right now. What are they, 0-4 right now? They are hurting. But Miles Sanders, he's been phenomenal, I think, this year. I want to see more of him. I want to see him more involved in the game plan. I don't think that has anything to do with him. I think that's a matter, it comes down to Doug and how he chooses to, inject him into the lineup. Boston Scott, I mean, we've talked about it. He's a giant killer. Every time we play the Giants, it seems like, he is the top running back on the depth chart just because of injuries, and he always steps up, makes the big plays. We just played the video of him making that game-winning touchdown, and I think that both of them are going to have a chance at a really good game today. I'm expecting a lot of yards on the ground if we can commit to the run, which is exactly what I think we need to do.
I mean, you mentioned Penn State real quick. I just want to give my old offensive coordinator, Coach Soraka. That was my offensive coordinator in college. He changed my life. He recruited me. But he's not doing a great job at PSU right now. I don't know what's going on.
He obviously changed PSU's life.
I don't know what's going on, Coach. But yeah, man. We got Stoko in the building. Shout out.
What's up, fellas? Good morning, Peter.
Fresh hair.
Good morning.
What's going on, bro?
Feeling
What's up, Brian?
That's a tight phase.
You look like you got the McNown look going on right now.
Yeah, it was a get right. It was a get right for me.
So how you feel today?
How was your bye?
I feel good, man. I'm excited to be back. Obviously, the bye was absolutely killer for me. It was a long couple weeks, fellas. I am glad to be back in here, seeing your smiling faces. I think that this week is is the start of a big run. I think. Let's get it.
And you're not to load on Penn State, but you're a Penn State alum as well, right?
Oh, yeah. He's in pain. Look
Yeah.
at him.
Yeah, I am. It's rough right now, fellas. 0-4. They're hard to watch. They even benched Sean Clifford yesterday. So yeah.
James Franklin is not helping his case right now. As far like he was doing really well. As far he was getting on the radar for a lot of people as far as him as a head coach, and this year is not helping.
Well, yeah. I mean, you talked about it before. Miles Sanders stepping out, Saquon Barkley stepping out. They lost Chris Godwin and everything. They never really had like great quarterback play. They just had good playmakers, and now they are young and don't have like the veteran playmakers in college football anymore. So they're struggling for sure.
Yep. And that's exactly what I think the Giants are lacking in their wide receiver core. I mean, we talk about the Giants missing Saquon. You know, they're going to have Gallman out there, which I think Gallman, honestly, I think is not an awful running back. I think he's pretty decent. He does pretty well against us. But overall, he's not Saquon Barkley, and he's not Miles Sanders, and their top wide receiver, Sterling Shepard. And those are all guys I'm not particularly afraid of individually.
Right. Shout out to the Athletic for this chart. This is their projected starting lineup for the Giants. I mean, you talked about Gallman. You know, they got Alfred Morris from the scrap heap. People forgot that he was still in the league. Out of the guys on the Giants here, who do you think that the Eagles defense can attack and take advantage of? And the chat, people in the chat, we'd like to hear your opinions over here too.
I don't see Austin Mack up there. I wouldn't sleep on him. I mean, that dude was when everybody else is pretty much shut down, that kid just comes out of nowhere. So I wouldn't sleep on that dude.
On who?
Austin Mack, the wide receiver for the Giants.
Oh, word.
Yeah, he ended up stepping up last week against the Redskins because everybody else was pretty much shut down. Those are the type of things I'm talking about. I mean, you shut down everybody. It's about shutting down everybody, not just shutting down particular ones and then leaving that one guy to go and hurt us.
Yeah,
I think Brandon Graham is a perfect. BG's been balling, man.
Absolutely balling.
You're talking about a guy in his 11th year.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of production
career year.
What year is it?
I'm saying he's 11th year, but he's having a career year.
Yeah, I mean, so much so that are we trying to bring him back for another year?
Why not?
It's a tough one.
You want to take a little discount for the retirement discount, like keep it intact. It's hard to see a guy like you talk about guys that are glue guys on team. Yep. He's a glue guy. Like
absolutely,
he brings energy to this team. He brings respect to this team. He gets the city. Obviously, us as Eagles, like an Eagles organization. We're not an organization, but as a fan base, we love players like him. He's been through the gauntlet. He's been through the Barnett years. Came through injury. Played out of position at one point in his career. Came up with the Super Bowl strip sack. I mean, and now his production is he's on pace to have double digit sacks this year. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, and like I know it always like it's ultimately comes down to money. I don't think that he, huh?
Chris says, why not?
Exactly. I would love to have him back. The only thing that I fear is that we're in cap hell next year, and he's a big contract, we have a lot of holes to fill. As much as I would love to keep Brandon Graham, as much as I would love to have a consistent pass rusher on this team that I can count on, I just don't know if financially it lines up. But BG, like you said, he's a glue guy, and he also loves the city. Like that's a mutual thing that goes on here. He loves being here. His boy Derek Gunn recently released. He's been doing a lot of stuff with him. So like, I think that he really does have a connection with this city. I think he loves being here. I hope when it comes down to dollars and cents, that is what keeps him here. His just connection with the city.
For the guys on Facebook, If you want to stay active with Mr. Joey Martin, our resident Giant fan for today, show him some attention. He's our Giant analyst for today. So you got any questions? Ask Mr. Joey in the chat. Welcome. See, Eagle fans aren't that bad, right? Now, Matthew says you shut down Jones, he will turn it over, and their whole offense falls apart. He's not one I fear, but he's easiest. That's the easiest way to stop the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about that double, the A gap pressure. They're sending linebackers right in the, the teeth of the Giants, interior offensive linemen. I feel like they're playing tricks. They can play tricks there. Drop. They've been dropping DTs here and there.
Yep.
In pass coverage, sending linebackers, but it looks like they're sending more, but they're only sending 4. On that interception that he threw, they faked some of that pressure, and he felt it. And I think, Daniel Jones, does he scare you, Chris, at all?
I mean, Daniel Jones. I mean, Prime and I were at the game this year when the dude tripped on his own feet. I mean, inevitably they end up scoring, but I mean, Daniel Jones is a dude that he has really bad. He turns the ball over a lot. He fumbles a lot. He throws a lot of interceptions. He has pretty good legs. He can run. But I mean, the whole thing comes down to our team. We're not sleeping on Daniel Jones. He looks like he's asleep when he's playing. But the thing with our guys is as long as LeBlanc and NRC, Roby Coleman, he's kind of been cold this year. We really thought he was going to be a really nice added piece, but him and LeBlanc have been splitting time. I mean, that's going to be the key matchup because Slay and Slayton, that's pretty much a wash. But that's going to be can Sterling Shepard get open in the middle? I mean, the one stupid touchdown they had the first game was the Golden Tate one right down the middle over LeBlanc. I think it was LeBlanc or NRC. Those are plays that should be avoided. I mean, it really comes down to the slot for me. What your quarterback do?
Listen, Joey. Those are two completely separate issues. I completely agree with the fact that Carson Wentz is having a down year. He's regressed. Sure, that doesn't take away from the fact that Danny Jones is still a big pile of doo doo. Brandon Graham gets to him. You shake him up. You make that offense one dimensional, and you put it in Danny Jones's hands. Let him turn the ball over. Just saying, man.
Thank you, Joey, for adding the spice this morning to get, we need some seasoning on the show this morning, and you were providing that because I feel like, Daniel Jones is, his list of, teams that he's beaten, it's very slim at the moment. It's the Washington football team. He's beaten them 4 times, and he's beaten the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Eagles are not trying to be that 3rd team. I'm just saying, a win is in the NFL week to week. It's a week to week game. I don't think Breezy says you better chill, Joey. And we got people from Twitter.
Get him, Bree. Get him,
People
Bree.
from Twitter trying to attack people on Facebook, and that's what we're trying to do here. This is about the dialogue that's going back and forth over here. But he's been known to fumble the football, guys. And Joey, you know that. I got a lot of friends that are Giants fans. They tell me the secrets. So obviously we're not downplaying what he can bring to the table, but obviously pressure bust pipes. What Malcolm Jenkins got that fumble on him. Who was it? Fletcher Cox that provided the pressure on that one. I was live at that game. Our own fans over here bringing up the spice early in the morning, Otis. First thing on Otis's mind over here.
He ain't wrong.
Can we get an offensive coordinator next year? How are we feeling about that in the chat? Are we feeling Otis is his first thing that he thought of this morning?
Dog, I've been on my hands and knees begging for this all year long. I've been begging for an offensive coordinator. We got vanilla ass play calling, man. We need some creativity. We need another mind in that room to. Yeah, exactly. Are we going to get good Doug or bad Doug today?
I'll start contributing more into the church offering for the offensive coordinator. Right?
Yeah, I'm willing to as well. Whatever it takes.
That's the thing that right now as a fan base, right? We're looking at Doug Peterson coming out of the bye. How does he rebound? And how does he come through this bye? And does he look at his own ways and change them? Because right now, where it's imperative that I think it's that he's at a crossroads right now. If he doesn't get his, act fixed, we're all going to be looking at like Doug. What is this offense doing? The play calling has been, I think we saw what he did with Jalen Rager. I like the orbit motion. I like the creative, the speed outs. I thought, having him, zip across the line there, using his speed to get to the outside. I think add some screens. Everybody knows that our screen game is really whack this year.
Yep.
So I think we have to get better there. But Otis does, as much as we, everybody is kind of thinking that in the back of their head, like, man might need some help.
Yeah, Gail. I mean, you just saw Matt Nagy gave up play calling, and the whole thing is like, I think that the best thing for Doug Peterson and the football team is if he did give up play calling, because if he gives up play calling and the offense looks good, then the team looks better. The team is better, and then if they don't look good, then he can point the finger at Carson and be like, "See, it wasn't me, it is him." Like, he's the issue, kind of thing. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you really break it down, like, that's why Matt Nagy's probably just like what can I do? I mean, Carson was talking about it because he kept on getting asked the question, like, is there too many cooks in the kitchen? Because you bring in Scangarello, you have Fangio, and like you have all these guys giving you like all these different experience that are coming from all these different backgrounds and trying to throw one thing in. But the problem is there is no offensive coordinator. Like, we talked about that right when they said we weren't going to hire one. We're all just like, because you saw a guy like Joe Brady on LSU, who's an absolute like mastermind. I think he's already probably, if not the best offensive coordinator, one of the best. Goes to Carolina, and then you see Robbie Anderson is leading the league, is like top 4 in the league for yards. Curtis Samuel's going absolutely berserk, and DJ Moore is still averaging like close to like 65, 70 yards a game. Mike Davis looks like a Pro Bowler when Christian McCaffrey's not in there. I mean, no one, like, it just shows you like coaching matters, because like people like oh, like it's all on Carson. Like, yeah, like Carson's making obviously glaring errors. Like, dude, throw the ball away or just like take the coverage sack. Like, it is what it is. But the thing is, like, the one play that he didn't throw the ball away, when I thought I was gonna like have like a stroke standing there in the link, watching him just like stand there like this and get sacked. It was such a stupid play. Like, obviously you should have thrown it away, but they had max protection, 2 receivers on the right side, and no one ran on the left side, but they rolled them out to the left side. I'm like, obviously you just dump it away, but it's just like, why? Like, how is that like a high, like every play you run, you should be like, there's a possibility you can score. I don't think there's a possibility to throw a completion in that play. There was only 2 receivers, and they were covered by 4 defensive backs. It was just a stupid play. I mean, it's frustrating. I mean, we have the full arsenal of guys. Miles is back. I mean, I think Jalen Rager is going to be a huge key to this game.
So let me ask this question. Do you guys think that the lack of a offensive coordinator or Carson Wentz's just overall play this year has been the bigger issue?
I'd say both.
I mean, obviously both have been an issue.
Well,
but
I think if Carson completes a certain amount of throws, Doug can't complete the throws. We could be talking a different, it's funny because like it's all about wins and losses, kind of mean. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if we're sitting, we had a winning record, we'd be like, all right, it's cool, but again, the offense, the eye test is not past the eye test. It's awkward when we've been struggling the last couple of weeks. I mean, just looking at the Dallas game, and it's like, bro, we can't do anything. Even the Giants game, we went 9 series in a row without any production. We got like a kick, field goal, and we were just like, we had to scratch and survive at the end of the fourth quarter. But it is what it is. I mean, but we as Eagle fans, have been dealt with a lot of drama, unnecessary. Whether it's we're gonna be talking about Nick Foles until we're like, it would be like 20 years later. We're still talking about Nick Foles. It is what it is. The beat writers got a little taste of the the timeline. It was like almost like a the fan base is. I seen the fan base arguing with beat writers left and right. I think I seen this guy. This guy might have been arguing with people on the timeline.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it, man. Like, why are we asking these dumb questions at this point? We're 2 years removed from Nick Foles. Like, they've obviously shown that Carson is the guy. You sign $100 million quarterback, you expect that to be your franchise quarterback. So, like, asking him questions about, like, Brett Favre comments, who's been retired for I don't even know how long, and then, like, you're just not using your platform properly. I feel like the media that's in there is so, like, fueled by, like, the high school drama of, like, making an issue where there isn't one. Like, basically what you're saying is, like, Carson's looked up to Brett Favre for his entire life. He makes one negative comment, so let's kill all of his, momentum going into this game. Like, oh, you had a bye week and everything to clear your mind. Let's make an issue. Like, obviously, Carson did a good job of pushing it off and everything else like that, but it's got to stick in the back of your mind that somebody that you looked up to whenever you were coming up said that your organization made the wrong move by keeping you.
Yeah, we almost forgot. I mean, it's we all have fantasy football teams, right? If you look at SoCo's, it's fantasy football at SoCo Fantasy Football. So, with that being said, I know we all have fantasy lineups. People in the chat, if you do have questions, ask SoCo question regarding your roster. If you have some last minute, I will start off the question asking SoCo. I need a streaming defense. I was on the fence picking another NFC East defense up, but would you pick up the Washington football team?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Washington is probably one of those weird teams this year where they haven't won a whole lot of football games, but they have played well. They're kind of in the same boat as us. They've been on the losing side of the scoreboard. They're actually first in the league against the pass, and they're fourth in the league against the rush. So I think Washington's probably as much as they've been on the field this year, I think they're still a good streaming option this week.
Okay, I am taking SoCo's word of advice, and I am picking up the Washington football team, as you can see it.
Dang.
So if y'all got any questions for SoCo, ask him in the chat and fire off throughout the show.
I got one. Jimmy Graham, Austin Hooper, or Jake Reed?
That's a very difficult one for me because I'm on the Jimmy Graham hype train right now. I think that him and Nick Foles are very in sync whenever it comes time to get down to the red zone. There's only two tight ends in the league who have seen double-digit targets in the red zone and convert with 5 or more touchdowns, and one of them happens to be Jimmy Graham. Obviously, he has aged and slowed down quite a bit, but I think that he and Nick Foles are on the same page whenever it comes to the red zone. But I think that Ryan beat me to it. I think Austin Hooper is going to be a play today. I think that with Odell being hurt, I think that he's going to see more of a target share. We saw it whenever Odell went out prior to the Browns bye week. They shared a bye week with us. We saw Baker spread the ball around quite a bit and actually went on a run of completing 24 straight passes. Two touchdowns in that time frame, went to the tight end. Obviously, Hooper was still out with his appendectomy, but look for him to be all over the place in the red zone. I think that he's going to be Baker's safety blanket this week rather than Harrison Bryant.
All right, and I got a bonus one. Nick Chubb, too early to put him back in the lineup?
Absolutely not. Kevin Stefanski runs the most 12 personnel in the league, so they run a 61-39 share on run to pass in Cleveland. So, yeah, start Nick Chubb with confidence today.
It's a bad weather game, too. It's like 30-mile-per-hour winds, too.
They got 51-mile-an-hour gusts.
Yeah, they're going to run the ball a lot in that game.
I also wanted to bring this up. Shout out to SoCo. We're running a Travis Fulgham jersey giveaway. All you have to be doing on Twitter is follow 4th and John and follow Soko FFB for a chance to win the jersey. Who won the last jersey giveaway? Is that Britt?
Britt, yeah.
One of Miles Sanders? That was Miles Sanders' jersey?
No, that was Darius Slay.
Darius Slay. All right. So Travis Fulgham, if you guys in the chat want a chance to win a jersey, all you got to do is follow 4th and John and Soko Fantasy Football.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, I need to get back to one
Hey guys,
thing,
on the show, you can't win this. Okay, just letting you guys know.
I just got to get it out there, man. We go live after every single Eagles game, win or loss. We're gonna be here. Joey, if the Giants lose, are you gonna be in the comment section? Are you gonna be here? Are you gonna be here, Joey?
Matter of fact, hop on, Joey.
Yeah. What's Danny Jones's record against the Eagles? I'm just curious. Wait.
I mean, what? I mean, you know, when was it? They've lost 8 straight, correct?
Yep.
I think I have one inkling of Daniel Jones' play as a whole, and that is that he's played 6 turnover-free games in his career, one being last week against the Washington football team.
Now we have some of Soko's start and sits that are going across the bottom. So if you guys are looking for some start sits, you have a couple. Aaron Rodgers, you have starting. Ryan Tannehill sitting.
I actually want to revise one of my starts. It's one that we talked about with the Nick Chubb game. I would actually sit Deshaun Watson today. We got a weather update yesterday saying that gusts could reach up to 51 mile an hour today. So they're going to be running the ball quite a bit. So pretty much the only person I'm starting on Houston is going to be Duke Johnson.
Okay. The way that my fantasy team is finally starting to line up is like I really don't even have options at this point in the year. My team is so injured. I got the bye week messing me up. Let me ask you a question though. What is your confidence in Zeke moving forward? It's been a weird year for Zeke, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Zeke's obviously going to shoulder the brunt of the load, and Dallas has said that they're going back to Andy Dalton, and I think that's a mistake. I think Garrett Gilbert played way better than Dalton did in any game. But with Andy Dalton, you're seeing a guy that's still getting 22 to 25 touches a game. Obviously, he's not going to get the carry, so get more of the passing work than he's used to. But I have subtle confidence. I don't think he's going to be a lockdown RB1 like he has been to this point in his career, but he's somebody who's still going to get the opportunity.
Yeah. That's what I feel about him is that, like, even though he's having a weird kind of year, the fumbles are completely out of character for him. But the dude, like, he's a beast. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I feel like that he can't, have all these bad games in a row.
At any point, he's capable of breaking off a long run and, rewarding you for starting him. He's just had 3 to 4 down weeks on an injured team.
Yep.
Ryan says he picked Zeke 3rd overall. I'll never draft a Cowboy again.
Yeah. I took him 4th overall.
Is that the rule? We don't draft Cowboys, or
I don't.
I took him.
It's about business. You know what else is about business? This guy Kincaid, all the way from Arizona,
Hey, Timmy
got
boy.
a strip club in his own house. Look at this guy, lights everywhere.
Tell me about it, man. Jeez.
Big man got a pole up in there.
Dollar bill. Where the dollar bills at?
Yo, what is the vibe?
We don't need to know what you and Jen do late at night, all right?
What are the vibes over there, my guy?
Oh man, I'm blessed, man. Waking up, you know what I'm saying. I'm 2 hours behind, so I'm sorry if I'm a little late.
No problem.
No, appreciate you getting up early. We know it's only 8 o'clock in the morning over there. 7 actually.
Nah, the vibes, man. I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling like that the Eagles can we can break off, in this board. You know what I'm saying? On the right path. Everybody's healthy now. I think we got it. I'm a little angry with Doug Peterson's situation with Salamalu practicing all week and then him becoming a scratch. He's not playing. So Matt Pryor could have got those snaps in the practice, or Herbert or somebody. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who's going to be playing. Was it right guard or left guard? I'm not sure who's going to be playing. So, but
Yeah, it's not going to be Sayamalu today. I said yes. It's just not. It's not going to end up being Sayamalu today.
This is our starting lineup for the offense up front.
Ooh.
Hopefully, Matt Pryor's game doesn't match. We don't have to change the name to Richard Pryor. We don't need any comedy at the right guard position after watching Got My Own Brown play. Hopefully, he solidifies. I mean, some people probably in the chat are talking about moving Jason Peters to right guard and Jordan Mailata at left tackle.
I said that before. I mean, we had all talked about it.
And you talk about strengthening positions. Does Jordan Mailata give you a better chance at left tackle? You give him some development reps, and then you have Jason Peters, who's is better than Matt Pryor. So
yeah, that was more my point. It's not so much that I think Jordan Mailata will do a better job than Jason Peters. I mean, Jason Peters I think does well when healthy. It's just my man is walking up to the line hobbled every single snap. Like it's tough to. He's an older guy, Jason Peters. So and I think that he has a better opportunity to play better than Matt Pryor. So that's where I have more confidence.
Tim, shout out to AJ. I was on her chat on her podcast this week. She has a very important question to ask Tim.
Where are the strippers?
Tim, where are the strippers? Strippers.
No strippers over there.
Are they on break?
Well, she's actually saying
No, listen. All jokes aside, shout out to your daughter because we know she's the one that put that room together.
Yep, she sure did.
Got real weird.
Nice. Interior decorating. But I mean, what we were just talking about. What? I said interior decorating? So
no, Gail made it weird.
Yeah, but we were talking about Tim. You brought up how Doug Peterson was kind of, on your nerves a little bit. You weren't the only one this week. There was kind of a story that came out between Brett Favre had some things to say about our quarterback, and I got to be honest with you. After going back and listening again to Doug Peterson's response to it, it was weird, man. It was a weird response. Like how do you not just out of principle have your quarterbacks back and just be like, just outright come out and be like, hey, it's fuck his opinion. He's our quarterback. Am I the only one that felt that way? It felt weird.
Like being a former quarterback, like you would think that Doug would be the one to understand. Like you got to have your quarterbacks back. Like regardless of how you feel about Brett Favre, you backed him up for how long in your career. I don't care your personal relationship with him. You have to back up your quarterback.
Right.
That's your guy now.
$100 million man. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys feel a certain way? I mean, do you feel like Doug, it was weird that how he answered? I mean, the third and final time, I think he did the finishing move. He's our quarterback. Shut up. I feel like some fans they'd like to see the spicy Doug. I felt like, I just felt like
we need the spicy Doug.
I do feel like we need the spicy Doug, but I wasn't offended that the Beats asked that question. I mean, if I'm EJ Smith's boss, I'm telling him every day, all day, to ask that question. And if he's the youngest writer, youngest Beat in the group, I'm making him ask that question.
Hey,
that's his job.
Right. You got to look at it. It wasn't a bad thing because it brought out the spicy Doug a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he pushed buttons there.
It took 3 times asking for him to, finally come out and be like, yo, shut your mouth. That's my quarterback. Let's go.
He was trying to be professor, you know what I mean? So
I get it, but sometimes you got to throw.
He can't. I'm sorry, anyone interrupt, but Doug doesn't handle the press.
Shout out to E-Rock. You say strippers. E-Rock shows up.
What up, E? What up, E?
What up, E?
No strippers over here, bro. Sorry.
They're union, and they're getting their 10-minute break.
Nah, but you know how Doug doesn't know how to handle press and bad press. Doesn't know how to talk to reporters. It's like he's like the Ricky Bobby's in an interview. He doesn't know what to do with my hands. You know what I mean?
But
Yeah, no, you're right.
we can go back to the Super Bowl year, and we saw that Doug wasn't good with the media, and it was fine because we were winning. So I get that.
Now, I was watching some of the press conferences, and then I found it interesting. Press Taylor, a guy who's definitely on the hot seat because you're looking at, Wentz's play, the regression that we've seen, and this is how he answered the question that was brought to Carson Wentz's attention about him walking the line. I've called him the habitual line stepper. But here's Press Taylor's answer to that question.
Walk that fine line, and is it possible, or do you just have to accept this guy's aggressive?
Well, it certainly is a fine line, like you said, that's something we're always going to toe, and that's the way he's played. That's the way we call games. Is we're going to be aggressive, we're going to be bold in our approach, we're going to take our shots when we feel like the situation calls for that. But as a quarterback, nothing will ever trump ball security. And so that's something we will always talk about, whether it is we're directing him to push the ball down the field, it's an out-of-pocket decision that happens later in a down, whatever it is, ball security will always be a premium. And that's something we continue to talk about. So, yes, we want Carson to be aggressive. We're never going to, take a stinger out of him and let him continue. We're not going to rein him back in like that, but he has to understand, and he does, that the ball is the priority. And we're always going to do whatever we do, whether it's being aggressive, whether it's a directed shot, out-of-pocket decisions. Like I said, we always want to make sure we're conscious of ball security first.
Back is Huntley, the fake to him. He stays in the block. Wentz has time. Wentz looking, keeps his eyes downfield, and he's going to go down again. And that's Donovan Wilson with the ball coming loose. And Dallas has it. So Wentz escapes it up to go for it. As you can see, he's done a ton of times through the years, and Wentz is going to get sacked, and the ball is going to come out. And that's Van Der Esch. So they would have had it on downs anyway. After the sack, they wind up with it at the 46-yard line. So that Cowboy defense try to get on the board toward the end of the half here. Wentz keeps his eyes downfield, throws into the end zone into double coverage, and that will be taken by Diggs. And Diggs is contending that he caught it in bounds, and now you've got a conference here. Ball back in Eagles territory. Wentz deep downfield, and it's going to be picked off. Diggs, his second of the game, and he comes out of the end zone with it. And Diggs trying to pick up some blocks and finally goes down at the 31-yard line.
I am definitely giving Black Uncle side eye. Your uncle's up in the stands and watching you, Carson. Bruh. Obviously, we know your ability, and you set the bar, so we know where. We know how good you can play. We know what to expect from your game. We know when you're pushing, and I've coined the phrase "Captain Save a Bro" for a reason. We don't need the version of Captain Save a Bro. We need the Carson that we know to just show up and play. Captain Save a Bro can come out with some really sick plays. But there's Captain Save a Bro who can lose you football games. I think reeling Carson Wentz back in and allowing him to get back to, just seeing the field. A couple of times on that play, you go back to see those plays where he fumbled the ball. He had Ward over the middle, wide open on the interception to Jalen Reagor. He was, you throw that ball away, or you throw it short, or you run for a first down. The ball placement on the throw to Hightower was off. If you don't even turn the football over, it's a different ball game. So how are you guys feeling about that?
I mean, I was at the last two home games, and the Reagor interception was was ridiculous. And then and against the Giants, he threw the other one in the left side of the end zone. And like you knew the play was chalked, or you like saw someone that was open. And like I think he like the one that was Rager was like bizarre. Like he was just staring, and like Rager was open for a second, but then he just led like all the way to the like I thought I was hoping he threw it away, but he threw it right in the end zone. I mean, like just going off those cuts of those last plays, I was already referencing the first play when he got sacked and fumbled. I mean, it was a terrible play, but like you just have to chalk it up and just throw it out of bounds at that point. I mean, it was only a 2-man route, max protection. It was a weird play. The second one, I don't even put that on Wentz. It was like the 4th and short, and they rushed to the line. Instead of calling a timeout, they started the play, and no one blocked Van Der Esch. Like if you count, it's literally like 1, 2, like you can't even get to 2, and Van Der Esch comes right in. But like those are bad plays. I mean, it's really frustrating to see because you know how extraordinary Wentz can play, but then he makes those routine like rookie mistakes, and that it really puts the team behind. I mean, that's why the whole thing is like we can't go back. We can't change what's happened. Hopefully the bye. He like looked at the film and was just like had like the look in the mirror moment. Like, listen, like I'm better than this. This is the 5th year, but the people that act like 5th-year quarterbacks don't do that. It's not true at all. There's quarterbacks that are MVP caliber guys that make mistakes like that. Obviously, it's worse because it's our quarterback. He's doing it more frequently, but I'm hoping that the healthier team helps Wentz get back on track. Goddard's going to be a big target that he can hit consistently, and I think Miles Sanders being back is a big thing. So let's see. Hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same way. Like the LVE thing, you can't really do anything about it. Like he got absolutely smoked.
Dumpy in the building.
Yep.
Big ass on the show, Dumpy. We're waiting for you.
But yeah, I mean, it's just dumb plays right now. Like I understand, like the deep ball to Hightower. Like yeah, sure, the wind took it. I understand, but why are you throwing a 50-50 ball to a deep threat to begin with? It doesn't make much sense to me. And then the Rager throw, I do think that Rager, if he, undercuts that throw, and the throw is obviously in a better place, I think it had potential to score. But at the same time, like, you got to understand, like, kind of like what we've been talking about, like the risk reward wasn't there. Like, you're trying to drive late into the half to get some momentum to go into the locker room prior to halftime, and you end up throwing an interception. And like what Chris was saying against the Giants, that kind of just like lollipop throw to Hightower that got picked by Bradbury. Like, what are you doing? Like, it literally looked like he was trying to throw it away and float it at the same time, and it just ended up being dead into Bradbury's arms. Like, in the 5th year, like, you got to be smarter than that. But at the same time, like, you go back and look at tape, like the Miles Sanders throw against Washington last year, like, that is why we love Carson Wentz. Like, it just happens to be his down year, and you've seen quarterbacks regress in their 5th year. Chris and I have talked about it very frequently. Like, this tends to be that down year for rookie quarterbacks. So I think that ultimately, Carson's hopefully in the gym, out on the field, and in the film room, trying to fix his mistakes. But I think Carson Wentz needs to get out of his own head and just be Carson Wentz again.
All right, boys, I got to hop off. I'm going to let Jimmy talk, and I'm assuming that Hollywood's coming back on. But, yeah, boys, enjoy the game. I'll try to hop in after the game. Good luck in fantasy.
Chris.
Go Birds,
All right,
boys.
Chris.
To our guys on the Facebook feed, we just got a note that the Facebook feed is having trouble.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble worse than ever.
You're always having trouble.
What the fuck?
He said you were always happy.
I am. I'm getting tired of this.
Anyway, so if you guys can check out the Facebook stream, if you can't see it, let me know.
Yeah, I just texted Evan to let him know while he was off to see if he could look into it, because if for some reason it went down.
Interesting. I mean, we could come back. And restart the stream.
Relaunch the show.
Well, if you guys are going to do that, I'm going to take a quick time out to go play daddy duties, and then I'll hop back on.
Yeah, I can see the video itself. I can't see the comments. I can't comment on it.
Okay. So we'll be back.
Yeah,
We'll
shut
take
it down.
a 2-minute break. We'll be right back with the stream.
Pardon these technical difficulties.
I'll pin the new one.